Hey everyone, it took a few days, but I'm finally here to do my review on Mikey the Cyber Vampire Slayer. Season 2, episode 13, Such Sweet Sorrow. And why is it that all these Star Trek Discovery episode titles sound like My Chemical Romance song titles? What is it? It's like CBS. We put the Twilight in the Twilight Zone. Wow, like this is your target audience? Like little 14-year-old girls? That's pathetic. Come on. Anyway, you know that if you listen to my previous Star Trek Discovery reviews, that I'm way past that whole worrying about canon and how it's Star Trek and blah blah blah. I just want to be entertained. And for this matter, the first few minutes of this episode, they actually did that, because there was a lot of action. There was that evacuating of the Discovery, and there was that stupid voiceover at first. I hate those Discovery voiceovers that are supposed to be so meaningful and they really aren't. But they had to do that voiceover that they do every episode for whatever reason. And but then a lot of stuff happened, like they did these corridors that are like, okay, the evacuation corridors have force fields, like they extend and they are force fields. They are corridors made of force fields and they extend. And what happens with those corridors if you evacuate the ship while you have intermittent power failures? Like, this is a fucking death trap. Like, you have evacuation corridors made of force fields. If you evacuate the ship during intermittent power failures, that's a fucking death trap. That's insane. Your evacuation corridors are made of force fields, and most of the time when you evacuate a starship, it has something to do with power, with the ship's power. If the ship's power is failing, your evacuation corridors shouldn't be made of force fields. That's insane. That's a death trap. But anyway, I go on the Enterprise, and obviously it doesn't look that like the TOS Enterprise. And the conspiracy theory is like that it should be 25% different to be blah blah blah, some new version. But the reality is this is just redressed Discovery sets. It's the corridors of Discoveries, and it's the bridge of Discovery just slightly redressed. And I guess they couldn't make a better fit of the bridge. They just had to redress the Discovery bridge because they ran out of budget, because they had to use all their budget for those force field corridors that everybody is laughing about because they are such a death trap. Because if you evacuate the ship during power failures, obviously everybody's going to get spaced. What a ridiculous idea is it to have evacuation corridors made of force fields? Like, seriously. Most of the time when you evacuate a starship, it's because of power failures, and if your power fails, then your force fields fail, and you evacuate, and everyone is just sucked out into space. And yeah, what a ridiculous idea. But they get a new red signal. Who cares at this point? But anyway, they get a new red signal, and then everybody who evacuated to the Enterprise goes back to Discovery, and that action scene we just had was for no reason. Everybody goes back to Discovery. Yeah, okay, and then they meet that girl from the short track and blah blah blah, and they come up with a plan to send Discovery into the future and prevent the data from reaching the AI. And yeah, they have that girl from that short track, and they come up with a plan, and it's really like they're doing Star Trek Technobabble, except Star Trek Technobabble in a Harry Potter movie. ask the Queen, whose planet is her twin sister, to charge the time crystal with the spore drive. Right. Take that, Janeway and Taurus. No reversing the graviton condenser and invert the polaron array with the blah blah blah. No. We're charging the time crystal with the spore drive because the Queen of the planet, who is her twin sister. Okay, yeah, it's Star Trek Discovery. It's Harry Potter. This whole shit is Harry Potter. It has nothing to do with sci-fi anymore. It's just pure fantasy. We charge the time crystal with the spore drive because the Queen, whose planet is her sister, has a solution on how to charge the time crystal with the spore drive. Whatever. Yeah. No inverting the tachyon, whatever. Yeah. Shut up, Captain Janeway. Stop with the traditional technobabble. Shut up with that. It's magic. Magic, magic, magic. Anyway, that was actually kind of interesting. That was like the part of the episode that I would almost give above average, like 6 out of 10. Because a lot of stuff was happening. The plot was going forward. A lot of stuff was happening. But that was about 15 minutes. And then it went back to Star Trek Discovery. You know, Star Trek Discovery, it's... You know, I gotta talk about the comparisons to other modern serialized shows. That Game of Thrones is based on a novel. The Expanse, it's based on a novel. Hannibal, it's based on a novel. The Walking Dead, it's based on a graphic novel. They had source material, they were building their story from their source material going forward. Star Trek Discovery has nothing, no plan, and they just randomly make it up as they go, and that's why every episode just feels like filler, and they have one idea per episode in this entire season. That this season is 14 episodes and they have 14 ideas, maybe even less than that. The story just doesn't move forward because they just have... For each episode they make up one idea what might happen. They don't have any source material. They just... Okay, we're doing an episode, we're going to have one idea and the rest of the time we're just going to fill it up. And the way they fill it up after the first 15 minutes of this episode that something happens is just... Yeah, Michael Burnham, she has to go into the future and not come back, and then the entire rest of this episode is saying goodbye to Michael Burnham. Do you remember the finale of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where they were doing this emotional exposition that, oh, they all remember that time on Deep Space Nine with the flashbacks and everything, and it took about 5 minutes and everyone thought, wow, this kind of is too much. I mean, it's emotionally intense, but those 5 minutes of flashbacks, maybe it's a little too much. It had its effect, but it's maybe too much. And Star Trek Discovery is doing this stuff for 20 minutes every episode. And now this episode, again, they are spending 20 minutes saying goodbye to Michael Burnham. Just like in the episode The Red Angel, they were spending 20 minutes saying goodbye to Michael Burnham. They always spend 20 minutes saying goodbye to someone. It's endless. It's always this damn emotional exposition that they always say goodbye to someone. They always have tears in their eyes, and they always have their quivering bottom lips, and they're always saying goodbye to someone. That's the problem of this damn show. Before anything happens, before anything moves the plot forward, they always need to spend half an hour talking about their emotions about it. Why? Why can't something just happen without half an hour talking about their emotions about it? It is so annoying that this entire second half of the episode is just, oh, Michael Burnham, we don't want you to go. Oh, Michael Burnham, we don't want you to go. Oh, Michael Burnham, we don't want you to go. And every character on the freaking show has an individual scene of saying, "Oh, Michael Burnham, we don't want you to go." First, it starts with Sarek and Amanda spending 2 minutes. "Oh, Michael Burnham, we don't want you to go," and then Captain Emperor Jojo. "Oh, Michael Burnham, I don't want you to go," and then Ash Tyler. "Oh, Michael Burnham, I don't want you to go," and then the whole crew. "Oh, Michael Burnham, I don't want you to go." It never ends. It spends 20 minutes on that damn scene. "Oh, Michael Burnham, I don't want you to go," and not come back. As a viewer, how can you not get numb to that constant exposition of just, "Oh, we are so emotional, we are so emotional, we are so emotional, we are so emotional." How can you not get numb to it? I don't understand fans of this show anymore. That it's just constantly like that you just spend time, people whining about someone going. There's nothing happening. You just spend half an hour whining about someone going until something happens, and then it didn't mean anything and they come back, and then you spend another half hour about something happening and it doesn't mean anything and they come back. It's just constant emotional exposition about they are whining so much about somebody going, and then that somebody isn't really going, and they spent the entire show just whining about somebody going and that somebody still hasn't gone. It's 13 episodes in, nobody has gone. And the entire 13 episodes we've just been whining about somebody going, but nobody has gone yet. We've actually spent 2 seasons whining about somebody going and nobody has gone yet. Why do we spend this whole time just whining about somebody going? Nobody has gone yet. When will at least somebody go? Finally. We spend so much time, 40 minutes of every episode, just whining about somebody going. Nobody is going. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. They're just whining about something maybe happening. And it never happens. They're just whining about it for 20 minutes at a time. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. This is not a real TV show. This is nothing. This is not even The Walking Dead. This is nothing. This is nothing. Nothing ever happens. They're just whining about something that doesn't even happen. Why? Why? This whole shit is like they want to appeal to young girls somehow, like their 90s idea of young girls that like really dramatic drama. But why? If you go to Star Trek convention, it's 50-50 guys and girls, because girls aren't just into sappy drama. Girls like science. Like Spock, I like science. Girls like science. Girls like Star Trek. Why would you turn Star Trek into sappy drama to appeal to girls? Girls love Star Trek perfectly fine. Because there are so many women in physics, in astrophysics, in rocket engineering, in computer engineering, whatever, that all love Star Trek. Why would you be so sexist to think you need to appeal to girls for some sappy drama like in the fucking 90s? Like some really soap opera drama. You don't need to appeal to girls with soap opera drama. If you want to appeal to girls, just do Star Trek. Because women and girls love Star Trek, because women and girls love science. If you went out to the real world and stopped being such a sexist piece of shit like Star Trek Discovery writers obviously are, you notice that like the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Florida, or NASA, or the European Space Agency, or the Japanese Space Agency, there are lots of women who just love physics and astrophysics, astrobiology, computer engineering, computer science. No, you don't want to appeal to those girls. You want to appeal to girls who like Oprah and Jerry Springer and that kind of shit. Why? That has nothing to do with Star Trek. That has nothing to do with Star Trek. If you want to appeal to girls, appeal to the girls who want to build a fucking rocket. And there are plenty of fucking girls who want to build a fucking rocket and have the ability to do so. Appeal to those girls. And the girls who want to watch daytime soap operas and talk shows, don't appeal to those. That's not what Star Trek is for. Appeal to the girls who want to build a rocket and have the ability to do so, and the intelligence and the talent to do so. Appeal to those girls, not the Oprah watching girls. What the fuck are you thinking about? Anyway, after that 20 minutes of emotional exposition, nothing happens. Obviously, it's Star Trek Discovery. Nothing happens. And yeah, I guess the next episode they're going to have a space battle. I guess that's something. But unfortunately, I guess that's going to suck too.